Monday. I'm going to be recording this today because we are wanting to get full webinars up onto our university. So I don't want you to hinder yourself on asking questions. I still want you to ask questions. So just keep in mind that it is going to be put on our university and out there as a YouTube tutorial, okay?
Okay.
All right. So today we're going to be looking at the project manager and estimator's role or functions in RM. And I just need to bring my training side up real quick. As you can see, it's been a little busy here today. So, a few shakes and I'll hold it up. Okay, as you can see, we have my login. I'm just going to go ahead and log into my system. Sure am. There we go. And I'm going to log into my office that I need to be working in, or I can log into all of them. It depends on what you need to do in your day. You can either click here and get all offices if you have more than one, or you can choose individuals. Maybe you have a list of 5 or 10, and you can check mark which ones you want to go into. I'm just going to go into my Restoration Manager. Littleton is where I'm going to go. And as you can see, it's brought me right into my home page. Each and every time that you log into Restoration Manager, it's going to bring you here to your welcome home page. And here on this welcome home page, it does have information pertaining to you. As you can see, we have here our icons, and these are quick links to bring you somewhere else into Restoration Manager. So you don't have to go up to other areas. You can just click on an icon, and it's going to bring you right there. The next item on here is notes and memos. It may very well be that maybe your operations manager or your office manager has put a note in here, or even accounting has put a note in here that needs to be seen by everybody. So if they're seen by everybody, you just want to come here and tap on the little paper clip or the little paper note with the pencil. You're going to come in and hit New Note Memo. And then you come down and you put in what it is that you want to have it seen. So I come down and I just pick up. I'm just going to pick up that one because it's already one that I know that I put in there all the time. And then, of course, I want to choose the date that this note needs to expire. I can make it for a day. I can make it for 2 years. However long I need it to stay here so that everybody is aware of this note or memo. So here I'm just going to come in and put it until Friday the 13th, and I'm going to hit my Add button. And as you can see, it's put in here. As soon as I hit my X button, it's going to go away, and it's going to appear then on my welcome page. So I'm just going to tap here. My screen's going to refresh, and now it's here, and it also lists as to who actually did that. The next panel on your welcome page is My Job Summary. This means you. If your name is attached to a job, whether you're an estimator, project manager, or a salesperson, These are your jobs that your name is attached to. So you can actually scroll down through the progress levels of these jobs. And if you want to see what's going on with the particular one, you can either click on the number, and as you can see, it's underlined. Keep in mind that if there's an underline under something, it indicates to you that Restoration Manager, if you tap on that, it's going to bring you again into another area. It's linked to somewhere else. So here I'm just going to tap on that one. And when I tap on that one, it's going to bring me directly into, I apologize for that. I'm closing all those windows now. It's going to bring you directly into your view job list. So that if you have more than one there, maybe there was 10 sitting in that progress level, you're going to see them all listed here. And of course, you're going to be able to sort through this job view simply by coming up here and using the search engine. And you can choose different progress levels if you want to. You can even choose different loss types if you want to. If you're only wanting to look at maybe fire jobs and that's it, you can go down and you can check mark that. Again, this is a huge search engine here that you can search by many, many ways to find a particular job or list of jobs. Also here on this particular view job page, if you have job mapping on your system, you're going to have an active Google Map icon here. And all you need to do is just tap that, and it's going to bring whatever's in your list up to 25 jobs into a particular screen. New computer, guys, sorry. Once it brings it into that screen, you're going to be able to see it here. And if you want to know more about a particular one, all you need to do is come to that icon, hover over it, and it gives you the job ID number. But if you click on that, it gives you more information about that job. It doesn't go into all the details such as the correspondence and estimates and all that, but it gives you a quick snapshot of what's that job. When you're ready to get out of that, you just simply tap on that and it goes away. Any questions on what you've seen here on the view job? Okay.
No.
Let's go back to our home page. And here on our home page, we also have a panel for My Tasks Due. This is going to keep you up to date on what you need to do, what's past due that maybe you haven't gotten done, and what's due today is going to populate here. And these are tasks. If you want to go directly into a task that's sitting here in this panel, you can just double click on it and it's going to bring you into your task details. Or if you want to go in and get more information about this particular job that you need to do a task on, just come over again to the live link here and tap on it, and it's going to drill you directly into that job then. So now here it's brought me directly in. I apologize for that. She's deleted that job. If you want to see a list of your jobs that's overdue, due today, or even due in the future, or maybe you need to see more than just your tasks, you come up to the Go to Task Management screen icon and you tap on it. It'll bring you into the list of tasks for you. If you want to see someone else's, come up here to the employee drop-down and say, I want to see everybody's tasks. I want to see how everybody's doing with their tasks. Are there a lot of overdue tasks? And if so, who are they assigned to? I can also decide, maybe I only want to see what's due today, and you change that up, and it's going to show you all the employees' tasks that are due today. You can go even more into this and say, I just want to see what's in the future. And I want to see it for, again, just a particular employee and only that employee. You can also see what's been completed or all. As you can see in this task screen, you have the capability to do a quick complete. All you need to do is tap on the complete button, put in your resolution, and come down and hit your complete button. And now that task has been complete. Each of these tasks should be attached to some kind of information in RM. That's either going to be attached to the sub, attached to the job, or attached to a company contact or a company. So keep that in mind. If you see this completely blank and you're signed in as you, and it's completely blank, that means that it's not attached to any item in RM. It's just a general task that you have probably set for yourself, such as I need to pull out all my files and go over my budgets to make sure I'm still in line, or I need to do once a week. I need to pull all of my sub invoices and get them into accounting for payment on the jobs that have been completed and are meeting my requirements to get paid. The next item that I would like to show you as a project manager or estimator is your dashboard. Dependent upon your permissions that have been given to you by your administrator, you may see job summary and sales and estimates. This is a permission-controlled drop-down. You'll always be able to go into the main dashboard, but you may not see the job summary and sales estimates. If you're not seeing these and you do need to see them or you want to see them, please talk to your administrator. They'll be more than happy to discuss this with you as it is a permission. Let's go into our main dashboard at this time. And here at the main dashboard, excuse me, you have the capability of setting up your main dashboard to look the way that you want. There's going to be fields on here or panels that you may not even look at on a daily basis, but there may be some that you really need to see all the time. So here, as you can see, I have set up my dashboard to look at like this. However, I can come to this small icon here in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, tap on it, it drops down to reveal to me refresh dashboard, save, and reset. If I want to reset back to what I call the factory setting, all I need to do is tap here on reset dashboard, and it's going to pull all of the original panels back in for me to see. And I do apologize for the slowness of my internet today. So now here is all of my panels once again. As you can see, there is quite a few that we have here. And I do recommend that you hide the ones that you don't want to see so that it actually can help with you getting loaded. And if you want to move them around, you just drag and drop them into the space that you want to have them. You can actually remove certain ones. You can actually come down and I want to shrink certain ones. I can do that. And after I have everything set the way that I want to see it, I come back up to that dashboard setting icon, tap on it once again, drop down and save my configuration. So now each and every time that I come into my main dashboard, it's going to be set up exactly the way I need to see it. Of course, it may be that during the course of your job, you may decide that, oh, wait a minute, I need to see another panel or I need to get the reports off of another panel. All you need to do is come in again to that icon for the dashboard settings, tap it once again, and we have a pull down here for dashboards. If you pull down, you're going to see that some are light gray and some are dark gray or black. The ones that are dark gray or black have been hidden from your view. So all you need to do is come down and pick up that one. It pops it back into its original position. Move it to wherever you want to have it on your screen. So I want to have that underneath my job summary. And again, hit your Save Dashboard configuration. And again, it's going to now save how you have set up your dashboard once again. As you can see on some of these panels, We have my job summary. And again, this is identical to the one that's on your welcome page. It's all about you. Here we have job summary panel. This is all about the company. It's not just about you, it's all about the company. So these are all the jobs in the progresses for the company. We also, if you'll notice, have a blue icon on each and every panel. This is an information icon, and if you hover over it, it will show up. But if your eyes are as bad as mine, you're going to need to click on it. It's going to give you a pop-up, and there you can be able to read it clearer on the pop-up. When you're done reading, knowing what's in that panel, all you need to do is just tap on OK, and it pops away. We also have additional icons on selected panels. We have reports on selected panels. Some of them have a detail and a summary, and some only have a detail. So here we have a detail report with this printer. If we tap on it, it's going to bring us into a report view where we can actually see a detail of this panel in a report form. If we come over to the next printer, it's a summary report. Again, we just tap on it and it goes straight into a report view screen so that we can see that in a report form. Again, we have our icon here for our information. But in some instances, you'll find some of the panels that have a toggle, and these are going to toggle between current and previous periods. So if you tap on that, it's going to give you a previous period view on that particular panel. Again, as an estimator and a project manager, you may need to have these up in front of you on a daily basis so you know how things are going in your daily life. Coming back up to the top, and let's just take a look-see at the job summary dashboard. If we tap on it, it's going to give us a view of the jobs that's going on and who's assigned to those jobs. Keep in mind, we can put up to 8 employees in this view. And if we need to take one off, all we need to do is come down and hit the clear button, and it will go away. And we can now add another employee in here to see what he's doing at this time. As we come down this dashboard, you're going to see number of weeks. And this is going to show you the number of jobs that have been coming in a weekly period. As you can see, we have it set up as 10. Of course, we can come in here and choose 5. And hit the update, and it's going to update our summary. If we hover over those pinpoints, it's going to give us the number of jobs in that period. As we scroll down, we have a last 26 weeks list. Again, just like the one above, it's going to give us how many have came in a period of time. We have the current year in orange, and we have the previous year in blue. Coming back up to our top, and again with our dashboards, and we come into sales and estimates. Here, if we click on Sales and Estimate Dashboard, it's going to bring us into another screen where we can actually now look at the sales and the estimates that are going on. As you can see, I don't have much going on here, but you'll see it is a graph. And if we come down to the bottom, we have the capability of not only looking at my own, because I'm signed in as me, I also have the capability of choosing yet another employee. All I need to do is hit my drop down, or I just need to start adding in the name, tap on it, and now I'm going to choose what position do I want to look at as them as an employee. We have estimator, marketing rep, and call taker. Once I have that name pulled into this drop down, all I need to do is come down and hit update, and it's going to switch out that name from Dawn to Greg. If I want to go between previous periods, right now we're under 2017, I simply hit the toggle here, and it's going to show me his sales and estimates here under the new year, which is 2016. Do I have any questions on the dashboards? Okay. Another item when we look at estimators and project managers, that you're in your daily life, you're taking calls, you're writing emails, you're trying to put pictures in, you're trying to get documents in. You're also needing to get the information that's there so that you can do your job proficiently. So I'm going to come into my jobs. I'm just going to hit my View Job screen. And here, I didn't select anything other than the View Job screen, so it's going to give me a list of jobs. Depending upon what I look for in my search engine, I can pick and choose through this list, just like I did before. However, if I have a particular job in mind that I need to get to quickly, we have yet another search engine for you, which is up here in the upper right-hand corner. And here you have the capability of searching through many different ways. Here, if I want to look for a job contact, maybe I'm looking for a specific job and I know the contact's name, I can choose job contact. In my search field, all I need to do is just put in a portion of the name that I'm looking for, either all of it or just a little bit of it. Sometimes less is more in these search engines because it may be that, okay, I know it starts with EME, but I'm not for sure if it's SEN on the end or SON on the end. So I'm just going to put in a portion of it, and then I hit my Go button. It's going to search through the database, and it's going to find anything that has that in the name of the contact, whether it's the beginning, middle, or end of the name. It's going to pull it into my screen here under my View Jobs. Once I find the one that I want to look at, I just simply come in and I double click on that particular job and I go directly into that job now. And as you can see here, it gives me job name. Then here is my job ID number, my job progress, and the type of services am I providing. What is my company providing there as a type of service? Here we have a picture of the front of the house, and if I tap on it, it gives me a bigger view, and if I tap on the enlarge, it gives me even a larger view. Once I'm done looking at that, all I need to do is just come down, hit my X button. It brings me right back into my job detail. We also have here the owner's name, and I can have primary contact 1 and 2 populate here. And they give me the contact number and email address. There is one. It also gives me the loss location and a capability of going into a map. And depending upon what your administrator has chosen for your map, you may see it in a Google, you may see it in Microsoft. It just depends on what the administrator has set up as your Google or your map preferences. Here we have some flags on our job. If I hover over it, it's going to give me a little snippet of what's in there. If I tap on it though, it's going to pop up and I can actually enlarge that to see exactly what is that particular flag. Keep in mind, a red flag is something that's like, look at me. You need to see me before you do anything else on this job. If somebody's calling in, you're checking in and looking at this job, it may very well be, as an estimator, he went in there and put in a very explicit note for you as a project manager. You need to read it. But those flags indicate that you need to look at me before proceeding anywhere on this job. Coming down and I hit my close button, it brings me right back into the previous screen. We also have here a collection note. And again, if I hover over it, it gives me a little bit of information. If I tap on it, it's going to give me even more information. And typically when you see the $sign, that's something that maybe your accountant has put in there or the file handler has put in there that's regarding money. So if you see that, you may want to take a look at that as well, as to maybe they haven't paid their last balance and they're wanting to have additional work. They need to make sure that they get that paid before you proceed with additional work. Do I have any questions so far? Okay. Coming on down, we have quick links into different sections of this job. As you can see here, we have tasks, documents, correspondence, work orders, and equipment. And as you can see, the only one that doesn't have a tab down here right now is the equipment. If I want to look at that, it's going to bring me into another section of RM, which is under the equipment, and that's something that I cover under equipment tracking webinars. Work orders will bring me into another section as well, and I cover work orders in a work order webinar as well, because it in itself is an hour at least, or an hour and a half in training on work orders. However, on correspondence, documents, and tasks, we're going to cover in the Project Manager and Estimator webinar. If I tap on the task here, it's going to open up this particular tab, and it's going to show me all the tasks. If I tap here under Add, it's going to bring me into this task tab, but it's going to open a task detail screen for me to immediately put a task in. So here I'm just going to tap, and it may be that I just jumped right into Emerson because I need to put a task in for myself to call for the cabinets to be checked on. So as you can see, it brought me right into a blank task detail. I can either pull down and choose one from the list that the administrator has provided for me, or I can manually put in a task as well. Now that I have my task here, what I need to do, now I need to set when is it that this is to happen? When do I need to have this happen? So here I'm going to tap on my convenient pop-up calendar icon, and I'm going to choose Friday. So this needs to happen on Friday. Now details. Okay, I'm calling auto, but why am I calling auto? Or why am I instructing someone to call auto? So here I'm going to put in my details. So now I have that in there, and I'm apologizing for my horrific spelling. Now I want to come down. Do I want to do it myself, or do I need to assign it to someone else? Maybe I need to assign this to someone else to make this phone call. So I hit here, and I just start typing in their name. I choose from my drop-down who it is. And now I don't want to blindside Greg with this. I want to give him a heads up that he's going to need to do this on Friday. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to hit quick email. When I do that, I get another pop-up. And as you can see, Greg's email is already in here in the to, but I also want to make the customer aware that we are still following up on the manufacturer's schedule for her cabinets or for his cabinets. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to add in their email as well. So now I'm sending out the email to Greg saying this is a task for you to do. And I'm also CCing my client saying, hey, we're still following up and we're going to be following up on Friday. In my details of this email, they're going to get the date that they're to be doing this. They're also going to get the name of our client, the primary contact, their telephone number, and their email address, the job ID number, and then, of course, the task that they're to perform and the details of that task. Once I have my emails in, I can simply tap here and hit Send Email. Once you send that email, you're going to get a pop-up that it did go out. Your screen's going to refresh, and it's going to now bring you back in so that you can create yet another quick add email if you choose to do so. If not, all you need to do is hit your cancel button and that screen goes away. Maybe in here you have already completed some of these items that you didn't take care of in your task management screen. I can come in and I can tap on which one that I need to complete. And here we have a follow-up, and I need to complete that. When I tap on that once, it opens it at the bottom of my screen. Here it gives me the opportunity to put in a resolution and just put in here, say Chase approved. And then I come down and I hit my complete button. I don't want to hit my save. I want to hit my complete because I want to get that task completed. So I tap on my complete button. And now it brings me again back into that screen. And now I can see that this is complete. I also have the capability of adding in task templates. If your administrator has provided you with task templates that more or less when one action happens, another action needs to be applied, you can actually bring these in simply by tapping here on Apply Task Template and then choose what task you need to pull from the template. And it says Create, and when it does, you'll choose, sorry, went too far there with my click. You choose from the pull down which task template you need to apply. So here I'm going to choose Follow Up with Homeowner. When do I want this to actually take effect? When this template is to take effect? What date? So once a certain date is met, it's going to then start popping these in. So create task template from template. And now if I come in to my task template, it's going to have that task template applied. Any questions on the tasks? Okay. Documents, again, this is going to bring you right into the document tab here by simply clicking here. It's a quick link in. It tells you that there's 31 documents in here. You have the capability of adding one or multiples of documents and photos into the system. As you can see, I have some folders set up here, and you may have different folders set up in your own system. These are set up by your administrator. You'll always see a master document folder that will not go away. It's not something that you can make go away because that's where the master documents are going to be housed if you include a master document that your administrator has provided to you. A master document, simply coming down when you hit New Master, is going to give you a pull down, and here it's going to provide you with the master documents that the administrator has provided for you in the back portion of the system. Once you decide which one that you need to pull in, you just simply then hit your Save button, and it's going to then be in the master document file folder. When I click on the master document file folder, as you can see, it's providing me with all of them over here. If I want to see that document, I tap on the individual here, and it's going to populate in this preview screen here. If I need to see this in a larger view, I can come back in here and I can tap on the actual PDF, and it's going to open up another screen for me to be able to see that particular document. If I want to come back in and say, maybe I need to email this out to the client, I just come down to the bottom and hit Email Document, and it's going to bring me into a Build Email screen where I can now come in and say, I want to email this to the job contact. It automatically fills in that email address for me, but it also provides me with another CC if I need to CC it to someone that's not already included in here that I haven't checked marked. So I can come in and check one or more of these items in CC, And of course, Otto's not in there, so I'm going to put Otto's email in here and be able to send it to him as well. You must have a subject line in your build email screen. Typically what I recommend so that your email integration service is going to work appropriately, you always put in the very first item on your subject line is your job ID number. So I'm just hitting RM, putting in my dash, and it's 117 STR, and a comma, and then a space, and then my normal subject line that I would put in there. So I'm just going to put in here MSDS sheet, and we're going to put in bleach. And then I come down to the bottom and I write my email as I normally would. Of course, it may be that your administrator has provided you with a quick template that you can send out with this type of information. So it may be that there's a template in here that you choose. It'll extrapolate the information from the job and fill in any merge fields for you. Or you can simply come down and just put in here, hi. And then, of course, just send it out as you normally would, just simply coming down and hitting your send. When it goes out, it's going to automatically refresh, say that it's been sent, and it's going to bring you right back into the job detail again for you to be able to move forward with doing something else. If you want to add in a document or photos, you simply come down to where it says New Document. You title your photos. You give it a description. And then choose which folder you want that to go into. And here I'm just going to put in initial job photos. Here we have some check boxes. One is to show on Intuitive Inspections. One is to show on the Viewable by Job Contact Portal, and another one by the Company Contact Portal. If you're not for sure about portals or the Intuitive Inspections, if you're using those as a company, please see your administrator. They'll be able to answer your question on that. If not, please see your trainer. Now that I have my title, description, and folder chosen, I want to select my file. So I just simply tap on Select Files. It gives me a pop-up so that I can now come in and I can choose what I want to put in here. So here I come into my pictures. I choose my pictures that I want to put in there. And I just hold down my Control key and I can select several if I want to, or I can just keep one if I want to. So here I'm going to put in 2, and I'm just going to hit my Open button. And as you can see, it's attached it to the select file. All I need to do now is just simply tap Upload. You're going to stay on the screen until you get the files uploaded again in the little green box downstairs here. And if you go into your initial job folders, just tap on it once. It's going to load all the photos in your view screen here. But now I want to find those particular ones that I put in just now. So if I come up here, I can search by title. I can search by description, if it's a master or not, and of course the view. But here I just want to come under the description and I want to put in contains. And then I'm just going to put in a portion of what I'm looking for and hit my filter. So now here are the 2 photos that I put in. And if I want to see them in a larger view, I can hit here and it'll bring me into a larger view. Or maybe I want to see every photo that is in this file. I tap on All Photos. It's going to process, and keep in mind the size of those documents or photos and the speed of your connections going to determine how fast this loads. So keep that in mind. So here It starts off with one picture. Oops, lost my little screen here, sorry. If I tap on that, it gives me my arrows so that I can start flipping through these in a larger view. And again, as they are being brought up, dependent upon the size and the speed is going to be how fast they're going to load in this view. We also have what we call a photo report as well. It may very well be that I need to send photos to an adjuster, to a property manager, to the client, whomever, but I want to put it in a report form. I want to be able to select which ones go in there. So I come over to the file folder that's holding those particular photos. I come down and I start picking which ones I want to go in it. And then as soon as I started clicking on those photos, we have a new icon that presents itself. And all I need to do is tap on that. And as you can see, it's going to stand by and it's going to bring us into the report view once again. And here's my report view. It gives me all my information on this particular job. But as I scroll down, it's going to be populating the rest of that report that has the photos in it. So I'll be able to have a photo report for whomever I need to send it out to. Any questions? Okay. We also have the capability, it may very well be that you have a very large job and you have hundreds of photos that you've taken on this large job. Maybe it's a multi-level hotel that's been damaged, or it's a huge home that's been damaged, and you want to get them off of another device and get them into the system, or you want to get them off of your device and into the system. You come down to where it says Add Multiples. And keep in mind that you're doing this with not just photos. You can do this with documents as well. It doesn't just pertain to photos. If it's a document, an Excel spreadsheet, whatever, you can bring them in here in the same fashion. I just happen to drill onto photos because it's quite easier on my computer to pull them. So now that I've got that pop-up, I hit Add Multiples, and I have my pop-up. I'm going to come in and I'm going to put a title in for my photos. And I'm just going to put in here pictures, initial site inspection. I'm going to leave my description blank because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to put a description on them individually so I can tell you what I'm looking at in this picture and why I did that. But you, of course, can put a description in here now if you want to. It's your option. Again, we have those options for the portals. But now I'm going to come down and hit my select button. And here on my select button, again, it's going to bring me into my device where I can come down and say it's not on my local. Maybe I've got my camera attached to my device or my phone's hooked in. Whatever you want to look at, you can go in there and pull them off of there. I'm just going to go ahead and use these exact same photos that I have. So I'm just going to hold my shift key down when I select the first one and hit the last one so it selects all of them. I'm going to hit open. When I do that, my pictures are going to populate. It has to prepare them for the upload. So you're going to see them blinking yellow. And again, depending upon the size of those photos or documents, it's going to be how fast they load here and the speed of your connection. Once they all turn green, that means that they're all ready for upload. However, maybe I put one in here that I really didn't need to have in there. I can still come in and remove them from that upload. And now I need to go back and maybe I need to choose another file folder, or I need to choose it from another file in my device or my devices, and I can pull additional still in. Once I have everything loaded here that I want to upload, I simply come down and tap here on the upload button. When I tap on the upload button, it's going to process, and once it pops everything down below under File Successfully Uploaded, you can then come over and you can hit your close button. As with the individual new document added, where I added them into a file folder, I didn't have that option with the multiple add. However, it's going to throw all of them or place all of them underneath the last file folder. I have the capability of just coming in and check marking where I want these pictures to go. Maybe I want some of these to go to a particular file. So here I can put this into initial if I want to. But now some of these I want to go into a different file folder. So I take and drag and drop them into a different file folder and they'll populate there. Do I have any questions at this time on the document and picture tab? Okay. The next one down is correspondence. Just like with our tasks, we have the capability of going in and just tapping on add, and it's going to bring us into a quick detail open, ready for us to add in a correspondence. Or we can simply tap here on the correspondence link, and it's going to bring us into that tab, and we're going to be able to see the correspondence. Of course, you can always tap on these tabs down here to bring you in. You do not have to tap on those links up there in order to open up a tab. And here is my correspondence for this particular job. As you can see, we have yet another search engine here at the top. It may very well be that you're looking for a particular correspondence. Maybe you had a conversation or an email conversation with a client adjuster and you need verification on something and you need to find that. You can come in here and you can search for the type of correspondence it was. Maybe I'm looking just for emails. That's all I'm looking for, regardless of who or the status or the subject. I just want to find all my emails. When I put that type in there, I hit my find button. The screen's going to refresh, and it's going to provide me with all the emails here. And as you can see, this is 6 of 7. I can come down and I can change that into a 7. And just simply tap here on my change, and it's now going to bring all 7 of them into a view for me. And this would be 50, 75. It's going to bring them all into one screen, and you'll just be scrolling through them then. If I want to narrow this search down, maybe I know exactly what I'm looking for. It was an email, and it was sent out by Lisa. And I want to find just that. I can keep narrowing that down, and I'll pull in just what I want or what I believe is going to be pulling in. So now we have narrowed it down to 2 emails. And again, you can do this with any type of correspondence. This is my training site, and what you're seeing here as my correspondence types is for my training site. However, if you happen to see correspondence types here that you would like to have, please contact your trainer and they'll be more than happy to assist you. If I need to put a piece of correspondence in, and a piece of correspondence is anything that happened with this job, whether it's an email, a phone call, a conversation, one-on-one on the job, it's something that happened with this job. And it's more or less like if it's not in correspondence, it didn't happen. So you want to make sure that you're putting all your information into the job so that anybody can come back and verify or confirm any information that's here. If I want to put a new correspondence in, I'm going to come down to where I say new correspondence, or I'm going to hit my quick add up here. Since I'm already in the screen, I'm going to tap on new correspondence. I'm going to come down, and as you can see, it's given me a blank correspondence screen that I can now proceed with. I'm going to choose the type of correspondence, and this just happens to be a phone call. It automatically defaulted to today's date and time when I clicked on that new correspondence button. Of course, I can change this if I have the permissions to change this. We also have a progress level if we want to put a progress on this piece of correspondence. Here we have, did I give information to someone, or did I get information from someone? Did someone call me, or did I call someone? And then, of course, if I hit my pull down here, it's going to give me the list of all of my associated people with this job, whether they're a direct contact or an indirect contact. Direct contacts are usually the homeowners, the neighbors, sons, daughters. family members, and an indirect contact is usually someone that works for another company that's dealing with this job, such as a carrier, an agent, a mortgage company. So here I want to pull in who I had a phone call from, and it was Matt, but I'm not restricted to just those names. I can come in here and I can add a name if I want to. So here I'm just going to come in and pull in Matt, and then I want to add in here. And then the subject, and I'm just going to put in here, conference call. And my horrific typing. And then I want to put my details in here. I want to explain why I got this in here. I want to give the details of this conference call. Maybe there was an agreed upon date that they were going to absolutely deliver those cabinets, or there's agreed upon pricing, or there's a discussion that now it's not my plate to handle, it's on maybe Matt or Otto's plate to handle. So we're putting out there saying we're delegating it to someone else. So here we're just going to put in okay, so here we've had a discussion, and this is what we're talking about. And you can put as much or as little in here as you feel necessary for that piece of correspondence. You also have the capability of doing a zoom. If you come over here to the zoom icon, it's going to blow that up for you with another panel. And of course, you can continue to add additional notes here as well. You just want to make sure that you come down to the bottom and hit your save button. When you do, as you can see, it automatically pops it in here. You also have the capability of putting your name, date, and timestamp on here if you want to. However, you can see it's already putting it up here in the when. If you need to, you can also attach a task to this correspondence. Okay, they're saying another 4 weeks. I want to set this out 4 weeks, and I want to talk with them about this one more time. They're telling me 4 weeks. I'm going to call them on the 7th. Who am I going to do? That's a follow-up call, and I'm calling manufacturer. And again, who am I assigning it to? Just like we did in the previous pages where we created those tasks, we do the same thing here. Just going to pull in Greg. He's going to be taking care of this. And again, do I need to put this in our company portal or the client portal? And then I'm just going to hit here and hit my add. So I've put the correspondence in, and I've also set a task up for someone or myself to follow up on that piece of correspondence in a time manner. Do I have any questions? Okay. We also have the capability of texting contacts. If you happen to have the text address for your contact, and this is your direct contacts that are underneath this particular tab here, your job contacts. If you happen to have that text message, you can simply tap on who you want to text. It'll bring up another pop-up window, and you put in here that this is a text message for whatever you're saying. Maybe crew is on its way, or spoke with the manufacturer. We'll update later. Whatever you need to do on that text message. And keep in mind that you have a 165 character maximum limit. So you can't write a novel here, but you can shoot out a quick text message. And then you just simply tap on your send button. It's going to send it out to your client on that text address that you've set up or that the client has set up for you. It's going to show up on their particular screen with your email address. This came from you, and it's going to show your email address on the top. So keep that in mind, that it's not going to have a telephone number at the top. It's going to say Mine, like mine is, it's going to say Lisa P at Service Software Inc. or Dawn at. And if they respond to you, then it's going to be able to be sent back to your email. So here is that text message. There's a record of it. And if I want to see it in a larger view, I can come down and see it in a larger view. If I want to double tap on it, it's going to give me an open new screen, and I'm going to see it there. So however you want to see that. And that's the way with each and every one of these. Keep in mind that with emails, if you've sent them out through the RM Build email, it's going to show up as a HTML, as you can see here. But if you want to see it how your client has seen it, all you need to do is just double tap, and it's going to give you a pop-up window, and here's how you're going to see it as your client's seen it as well. Do I have any questions at this time? Okay. The next item that I'd like to show and present to you is the job snapshot. The job snapshot, dependent upon your permissions, you may or may not find this. Typically, estimators and project managers are going to be able to see the profitability and accounting. And here's a quick view at the average age of the job. What do we have total estimates with this job? Have we got a budget set up, and what is it? Have we got costs that have been applied to this job, and how much have we applied to this job? Here's our gross profit in dollar amount and in percentages. Are we over or under our budget at this time? Have we invoiced? Have we collected? Do we have a balance remaining unpaid? And what percentage of the estimate have we got completed? Here we have job statuses and dates in production. As you can see here, we have dates that are already filled in. Typically, the date lost, date received, and date contacted or date received is entered in when the new lead is entered in to the job, when this job is created in RM. The estimator is typically the one that goes in and puts in the date contacted, the date that they have went to the site to do the estimate, the date that they actually did inspect, because sometimes they may schedule, but they can't get there and they have to reschedule, and they put in the actual date and time that they did get there. Estimate delivered, estimate approved, estimate accepted is typically the estimator's role in putting it in. Keep in mind though, this is typically, it is not set in stone. Your protocol may be a little bit different, and you're going to be able to set who is responsible for these particular dates getting tied in. Keep in mind that dates are tied to reports. They're also tied to search engines. So the dates in here are quite important. It would be great if you could get into a habit in putting the dates that are required for your company in here so that you'll have more efficient reporting and more efficient search engines. We do have some dates in here that are directly tied to our exact analysis integration, and some of those being the target start date and target completion date, as well as the drawing start and drawing completed. If you have the exact analysis integration and this job has been imported by that integration, you're going to see the exact analysis icon sitting here on that particular job. You'll also see that particular icon associated with the dates in the job snapshot. So when you put that date in and you hit your save, it's going to send those dates over to that assignment in exact analysis. If you want to know more about the exact analysis connection and integration, please see your trainer. As you can see, we have more dates down here, and we also have the capability of changing the progress level of this job, as well as having it connected to particular dates. We can also change it manually. So it may very well be that you would never touch this in your role, but then again, it may be that you're requested to put it into production, like you're a project manager and you've got it scheduled now it goes into production and the date's not tied to it. You can come down and you can actually change that progress level by hitting that drop down. And here, the XA transaction ID, this is again directly related to our exact analysis integration. Once you've put any dates in or you have made any progress level change, you want to come down and you want to hit your save button so that the changes that you've made are saved in the screen. It is not an auto save system. Each and every time that you go into a screen and you have added or edited something in that screen, you must find the save button and hit that save button in order for those changes or additions to stay. Coming back into the job detail page. The job detail page is going to reiterate to you the information as far as the company associated, also the employee that's been assigned. You also can assign employees here simply by tapping, pulling them into the list. And of course, here is our loss location as well as our claim number. And then our additional information, such as deductible policy number and so forth. These items may or may not be in your own database. However, this is my training site, and this is how we do have it set up. Also, a general note about the job. We don't want to put private, financial, or confidential information in this particular area as it does get printed out on selected paperwork. Here's just a general note that they apparently have a large dog and he has issues with the color blue. Here, whether the status is active, inactive, and of course, do we have any jobs linked to this particular job? It may very well be that this happened to be a water job. We did the water job. We found mold there. Now there's a mold job. We want to connect that mold job to the water job. So we would link them together here by their documents and correspondence. So I don't have to go in and out of each one of these jobs to see photos or to read correspondence. They're all going to be linked together into an individual job if I'm in the mold or if I'm in the water. Again, anything that I have added or edited on this page, I want to come down and hit my save button. Once I hit my save button, my screen's going to refresh. And again, I do apologize for my internet speed. And it brings me right back into that page once it refreshes. We also have any additional contacts here in the upper right corner of the job snapshot bar. If I hover over a particular name, it's going to populate their telephone number if that telephone number has been incorporated in their information. All I need to do is either dial it on my desk phone, or if I'm on a mobile device, I just tap that link and it will dial if I have the phone capability. As you can see, as I go over each one of those, it changes up that number. Again, these are additional contacts that are indirectly related to the job as to who they work for. Job contacts here, if you happen to have you need to go into job contacts, it's going to give you a list of the contacts on this job, and these are direct related contacts. It may very well be that there's a neighbor associated with this job because Emerson's went on vacation and he's going to have all this work done while he's on vacation. The neighbor's going to allow you in and out or have access in and out of that home so you can do your work. So you would want to list them as a contact so you would have their information to contact them. If you need to change something on a contact, maybe we put in the wrong digit on the phone number, just simply double click on that item. It will open up for you so that you can actually change items in here if you need to. And again, if that permission has been given to you. Additional contacts, again, is going to be looking at those indirectly related. We come in and we tap on the additional contact tab, and here we have a list of those people. All I need to do to add a new one is just simply tap here on New Additional Contact, and it provides me with the capability of adding in a new contact. You do want to make sure that you pull in the contact type because contact types do facilitate reports and search engines. Once you pull in that information that you're looking for, just hit your add button and it will add that particular individual to this particular page. If you need to add maybe information to one of these, you can just double click and it'll bring you right into their information in Restoration Manager. The Logs tab is directly related with work orders, and I do cover that in a work order webinar. If you want to know more about work orders, please see the university and find the next available work order webinar that will work with your schedule. We also want to talk about subtext. Here at subtext, especially for estimators, you went out and possibly have received quotes from subs or vendors for particular sections of the work to be done on this job. You, of course, would like to make sure that if you happen to be out or you happen to go on vacation yourself, that whenever anyone goes into this job, you want them to know who it is that's going to be doing that particular work and that they don't choose someone else. Again, you can use this for what that scenario is, or if you just want to list everybody as far as subs or techs that are going to be on that job here for everybody's view, that you can have a quick add when you do your work orders. So here we have a category of flooring. It looks like JB Construction is going to do that. I want to add in who's going to be doing the disposal or the demolition. And here is the debris disposal. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to pick up who it is that's going to be doing that and who's going to be responsible. And then I hit my add button. So now if I happen to be out of the office and they want to go ahead and get this scheduled, they don't need to ask me who's going to be bringing the dumpsters or doing that. All they're going to do is come in here, and if they tap on that, they're going to be able to pull up all the information for that particular sub or vendor, and they have it right at their fingertips. When they go to create a work order, it's going to automatically pull in their name. Whenever they pick a debris, the category on that work order for debris, it's going to automatically assign it to Kreider debris disposal. This here keeps you on page with everyone else, saying, here are our subs that are going to take responsibility for these particular work orders or particular actions on that job. The cost tab, again, that's where you're going to find your estimates, your budgets, and your actual costs on this job. I do cover that in estimates and budgets webinar. And then, of course, document merge. You do have documents that your administrator has created, and they're there for your convenience. Like we did with the documents, putting documents in, and they were just ones that we were pulling from our device. Now I want to put a document in that my administrator has created. They've put merge fields in it, so it's going to extrapolate information from that job and put it in the correct spacing of that document. So I'm going to pick from my templates that are available to me. And as you can see, when I hit that add packet, it gave me a drop down here. And I can choose from any of these. This is going to be an estimate letter. And then I hit add packet once again. And it's going to merge this with this file. So whatever merge fields that the administrator has put into that particular document is going to now be filled in. So now when I come to my documents and picks, and it will be found under my documents and picks here once I have merged it. Again, the merge documents are something that you simply just pull in, add packet, and it adds it to your documents. As you can see here, we have some that's already been added, and I'm having a little problem with that not connecting to my documents. I do apologize. But here is the original that the administrator put in, and here's how it has been put into a PDF form under my documents. As you can see, Emerson Puckett, the address, and it pulls all that information there. As you can see here, these are not merge fields. These are things that I left undone in my document merge. I should have put in there my company name. So if it Paris Construction, I would put Paris Construction in that document before I added it to my system. Here under questionnaire, here's the view. And here happens to be that particular item. Any questions on the document merge? Okay. I do want to point out a couple of reports, especially for estimators and project managers. Here we come up to our toolbar, which is our reports, and we drop down. Keep in mind, depending upon your permissions, you may or may not see all of these particular reports. So here under the production, I want to come over to where it says work in progress. This is what we call our WIP report. And I'm going to tap on it. And again, since this is my training site, I want to pull everything in. However, I would go through and I would make this report what I want it to report on. In each one of these boxes, you have the capability of picking and choosing what you want to find on this report or you want to pinpoint on this report. Here, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to do the current year. And I'm just going to go ahead and come down and I'm going to hit my run report. And as you can see, here is my report. I'm just going to scroll down quickly. I do apologize for any dizziness that you might get from that until I find one that has the information. As you can see here, it gives you the job ID number, the loss services that we're doing, the name, the address of the loss, and of course, do we have any employees assigned? And if so, who are they and what position are they? We also have our dates on this report as well. And of course, the job progress, the company associated, and possibly the referral source at that company associated. And then, of course, it gives us, if there's estimates in here, the total estimates could be 1, could be 5. The budget, if there's a budget created, what we are supposed to be meeting as our budget. The actual dollar amount spent, what have we paid out so far to do this job? And if we've paid anything out, where have we spent that money at? Is it materials, labor, equipment? And then, of course, what percentage of our budget are we at? And where are we supposed to be at? Have we invoiced? And if we've invoiced, what percentage of the estimate have we invoiced? Have we collected, and what remains unpaid? This happens to be a really good report, especially whenever you have information in there. But as you can see, since this is my trading site, we don't have a lot of information in here because we do in and out of this particular program. Another report that would be helpful, especially with production managers, will be the production with schedule and production, or even the pipeline. When it comes to your estimators, of course, you want to come in here and you want to know if you're making the gross profit. Kind of engaging with gross profit analysis. This would be a report that an estimator would want to pull to make sure that he's actually making his gross profit on his job. Coming in, again, I'm just choosing the current year because, again, I don't have a whole lot of information in my training site. And here is going to give you the list of all of the jobs. Again, it's going to give you the job number, the ID, the company that's associated with that particular job, the type of services or the loss type. When did we receive it? And of course, now we have a legend up here that's the number of days from date received. This is our KPIs, keeping those in line. Is there an estimate? and what did we actually spend on that job so far, and so far what's our gross profit. We do have our university. If you go to Tools and you select the first drop, it's the university. If you tap on the university, you're going to be able to go into the university and come into the training documents and pick up Estimator and Project Manager. We do have training documentation in here. So if you have seen anything in here that you need to go over or you need to have instructions with that you didn't catch quite while I was talking pretty quickly, then of course you can come in here and you can pick up that documentation. We also have here at your fingertips videos as well. These are what we call little training videos. So you can select those as well. And of course, you know the webinar registration, and that's how you got into this webinar today. Again, if you have any questions or you have any details in regards to your own database, please do not hesitate to contact your administrator or your trainer to get those questions answered. I do want to thank each and every one of you today for joining me, and I appreciate you taking the time to let me do this training and videotape it, so I will be able to put it out there for others to see. Everybody have a great day and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.